human behavior, the control of the situation. I'm going to read a passage from my book, The Other. In this book I wrote, I put both the spiritual and the emotional part. And the control of the situation. I'll read and then make a comment. The control can be either positive or negative. Any action by one person generates a response from the other. So, if we have good mood and what we say makes people feel good, happy and smiley, we are moving the environment positively. People are happy and laughing. That's the positive environment control, when everyone feels good. The next control we'll talk is the negative one, which has a destructive emotional charge and makes the others apprehensive, consciously or unconsciously. Who is controlling spends energy, and so does the one being controlled. In both cases, people get stressed. I'll keep reading because I'll talk a bit about this. Some people are controlling, and perhaps they can also be called curious, nosy, etc. But these are just some of the terms used to disguise the internal reality of intellectual control of the environment. They often interfere in others' free will by imposing their own will. What I'm saying here is something very clear, that there is always a game of emotions with emotional charges in which, when you control the environment, you can be sure this is a high-powered defensive argument.
Em que a gente, quando controla o ambiente, pode ter certeza que isso é argumento defensivo de alta potência, né? Então, nós estamos falando de.
We're talking about human factors.
E essa potência desse.
The power of this defensive architecture is often disguised in various ways.
Ela muitas vezes ela é disfarçada de várias formas, mas no final das contas.
But in the end, the person who does it is very afraid. The person who is being controlled is also very afraid. We need to understand why it happens, but we never do. I'm a controlling person, but it's okay. It's not okay. Controlling the environment is an incredible waste of everything you are. We can't live happily because of it. The controlling person doesn't realize they're like this, so they'll give it various names. They'll say that they care a lot, that they're very attentive. It's like this, I want things to work out. But actually, what they're doing is spending a lot of energy without knowing that this energy could be used by themselves to be happier in what they are. I think we have to be aware of that. The expressions of control can diversify. There are active controllers who shout, invade, and win that way. Really shouting, yelling at others to gain their space. There are passive people who cry and whine, pretend they're victims, and put themselves at a distance, exercising control through emotional blackmail. I'm presenting to you two very clear types of control. That person who comes in talking very loudly, occupying that space using the force of their emotional charges, is one kind. But there's the other one that shrinks, stares at you like those cute little animals that we see. You look at them and say, wow, look at their eyes. In fact, a person like that is exercising control without knowing it. All we're talking is for us to become aware, not for saying, oh, but I'm not like that. Because we say so, but I'm not like that, only when it's necessary. The purpose of learning about behavior is to be able to see and free ourselves from all of this. To live happily. To live emotionally disarmed. Is that right? I think this is a journey for all of us to follow, so that one day, we look at the sun and really see it. Otherwise, we look at the sun and see rain. It doesn't have much to do with it. The idea of understanding more about controlling a situation is that it starts within the person controlling themselves. There are people who control their own breathing. They control everything. Imagine, you control all your physiological parts. Controlling your breathing is when you're afraid, you stop. You don't even breathe. Because that could denounce you. When we do that, it's because we're stopping other physiological processes. All, even the process of excretion. We can do that. It's not healthy to waste energy with our physical vehicle, thinking this is how it has to be. No, this is waste of energy. It doesn't make much sense to us. One example of the control of a situation. A couple was in a shoe shop, and the woman wanted to buy a pair that she hadn't even tried on yet. Her partner said no, because she already had many, and she had bought one that week. It was enough for her to say he didn't love her, and didn't understand the feminine soul. She began to feel ill, and little by little, she fainted. I kept watching, and since everything is study material for me, I saw this as an example of an attempt of an emotional manipulation you can do with others. Most of the time the person hides emotions of rigidity, fear, insecurity, and for this reason, the need to impose. This is a characteristic of dictators, different from a confident person who has the support to talk. I'll repeat, different from a confident person who has the support to talk, and for whom the fact of retreating does not mean an inner threat. I'll say it again, different from a confident person who has the support to talk, and for whom the fact of retreating does not mean an inner threat. I won't repeat it again. I'm just telling you that the need to impose desires is inherent in the controller. I'll repeat that. The need to impose desires is inherent in the controller. We're talking exactly about controlling the situation in human factors. We'll talk little by little, and maybe I'll be able to pass on something that will help people understand this, and even for me to understand it too. When we talk about a subject we've studied a lot, we always think we've understood everything. Then, later on, we find out we've understood a bit more. It's like reading a book. You read a book once and say, "Wow, this book is wonderful." You read it the second time and say, "Wow, I understood one more thing." If you read a third one, you'll understand even more. And so it is with movies, books, and everything around us. We only really understand it if we invest ourselves in making it happen. See you in the next Human Factors. I talked a little about controlling the situation because I'm going to talk 1,000 times about it, approaching it in different ways. You can find the address of our website and our social networks in the description of this video. Check our content. We also have a Facebook group and an online store where you can find various study materials on topics of human behavior and spirituality. See you in the next video.
Nos encontramos no próximo Fatores Humanos.
Would you like to participate in a work of energy giving from afar that is benefiting thousands of people? Click on the link below for more information.